He has 10 lessons to teach your children about society. And it's important to understand. You know, I was born in 1946. I was here a while before all of this upheaval, before things began to change so rapidly. And so I know two worlds. I know that world and I know this world. But the kids that have been born since 2000, they don't know anything about this. They are totally ignorant. Number one, teach your children to be independent and creative thinkers. Amen, amen, amen. Teach them not to blindly follow what's popular or trendy. To question authority, teach them to think critically and be their own person. Amen. Children, number two, let your children know that Satanism, witchcraft, cannibalism, gender fluidity, pedophilia, sadistic acts of violence in pop culture and entertainment are unnatural and not part of some organic movement in evolution. Let them know this is vile, wicked, and evil. Monitor what your kids are listening to, what games they're playing, and what shows they're watching on television and in the theater. Keep this garbage out of your home and away from you and your children, your family. That's good advice, folks. Remind youth that there are only two biological sexes, man and woman. That's it. Anything else is a developmental disorder called gender dysphoria. Period. 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 Do a little research on your own. Why don't you Google people who regret now having this radical surgery done to their bodies? And you're not going to CBS, NBC, that bunch of garbage. They're not going to report that. But you get on there and do a little research into it, and you'll be surprised at how many people, and even committing suicide now, because they have tried to alter their biological sex, and then later on, when they realize what a mistake they'd made, it was irreversible. Teach them the importance of family, to love, support, and respect one another despite their differences. Promote quality family time. Set a good example. Enjoy time away in nature with your family with no devices. In other words, phones and pads and all the rest of it left somewhere until you can enjoy some time without ringing and binging and all the rest of it together with your family. In other words, teach them the importance of the family. The family. See, the idea is that if you mess with a gender, you've messed with a family. Explain that political correctness is a means to control speech and freedom of expression. Let them know that calling someone a hater or bigot just because they have an opposing view is wrong. Let them know they don't have to agree with the other person, but they have a right to express themselves. Amen. Teach young people history. Teach them stories about how most wars are needless and full of suffering and death. Amen. Let them know that war is a racket. That's what Smedley Butler said, Lieutenant General, highest rank you could get in the Marine Corps. Not all wars. Some wars have to be fought. Sometimes you have to defend yourself. Sometimes you have to take up the sword. I am not a conscientious objector and passive. No, sir, not at all. I think that you have failed your family if you don't defend them. You failed them. Your wife and your little children are depending on you to protect them. That goes nationwide. If a nation is invaded, if they come against you, you have a right to pick up arms and defend yourself. Absolutely. Let your children know that having 5G technology is not about faster speeds, but a system of mass surveillance, mind control, and EMF radiation illness, also known as cancer. Remind them that just because they say they don't care if someone is listening in on them, well, I do, because they have nothing to hide. Let them know they have a right to privacy and should enforce that right at all times. Encourage them to hardwire their internet connection and use a corded mic and headset when using a cell phone. Explain to young people the popular mainstream actors and musicians they adore, idolize, and model after are not real people. Yeah. Help them understand they are controlled, manufactured products of an industry that promotes and or covers up Satanism, pedophilia, drug abuse, mind control, and murder. Amen. Teach them that pornography, is not a reflection. The L is gone. It's not a reflection of reality. Porn is not about love and intimacy. Let them know it is an evil, satanic tool to get them to normalize and accept debauchery, sodomy, incest, infidelity, pedophilia, and bestiality. It's there to degrade and objectify women and make men weak, physically, mentally, and spiritually. Teach them that porn's ultimate goal is to destroy the family, destroy their God-given unique male-female identity, and blur the lines of sexual age appropriate. Teach your children to use cash. Teach them basic arithmetic. To refuse a cashless society, to refuse the RFID chip.